What is going on with the Tush push? Is it a personal vendetta against Nick Sirianni and the brashness of the Philadelphia Eagles? Where is this rage coming from?
Okay, so I actually want to reference. Not that I'm Bob Woodward here, but let me reference an article I wrote last week.
Yep.
Because I actually had some stats in it that I thought were pretty important. Okay, I asked the GM about it because so on the league meetings they tabled it to May, which is interesting for a couple reasons. You need 24 teams to pass it.
Right.
They're at 16, so 8 teams is a lot. There's still a lot of work that has to be done. But the fact that Roger Goodell said, and this is a quote, he said, "I think it makes a lot of." I think that makes a lot of sense in many ways because it expands beyond that single play. He says there's a lot of plays where you see people pushing or pulling. Basically, what he's saying is that there is validity to removing the play. When Goodell, considering his sphere of influence, it's not beyond him to get 8 owners on board banning it. It's possible, and the league wouldn't table it if they didn't think it was a possibility that they could remove the play. I compared it to Hack-a-Shack because I like cross-sport references, and I love basketball, as we talked about. So in 2016, the NBA put in the Hack-a-Shack rule, which basically, if you foul a guy intentionally under 2 minutes in any quarter, that team gets 2 free throws and the ball back. So now you're de-incentivizing the foul.
Right.
And the ironic part is this was long after Shaq retired, but this was the Hack-a-Shack rule. So is the NFL going to penalize the Eagles for doing something better than everybody else? I don't know, but it's definitely possible. And the fact that they tabled it should tell you that. So I don't know what's going to happen. And again, to get 8 owners on board is a tall order, but it's possible.
Yeah, that was my thought too. Like, especially at this point, I feel like everyone's kind of probably expressed how they feel already, and so now to flip, I think would be especially hard. If it's not banned once again in May, are we going to hear about this again next year, or how does that work?
I don't know. If it's not banned in May, I think it depends on what. If they get half the owners, let's say they get 4 more and they're 4 away, you probably hear about it again.
Okay.
If they get 4 or 5 more owners, I think you'd hear about it again. If they get none or 1, I think it's probably closer to dead.
Yeah. And then last question on this: so it's obviously not the safety because the data just isn't there for the safety issue. It's
not.
You could even argue that it's one of the safer plays in the NFL.
Yeah, the Bills did it a lot too. I mean, the argument about safety is the data I don't believe has backed that up. I mean, I know Howie Roseman, the Eagles GM, has talked about this. It's very convenient in many ways to bring up the safety play because it looks like a rugby scrum, and honestly, it doesn't. It's not aesthetically pleasing play to watch. I hate watching it, but it's very effective. And if I was an Eagles fan, I wouldn't want it to be banned. And if I'm an NFL fan, I probably do want it to be banned because my team is most likely not good at it and it doesn't look good. So there's a lot that has to be determined there. But I would just go back to Goodell. What does he want? And could he get 8 more owners?
Yeah. Well, that's a huge bummer as an Eagles fan.